The morning alarm rang across the Galactic Military Academy. Biora Kim opened her eyes and looked at the metal ceiling above her bed. Another day of training. Another day of proving she belonged here. She sat up and stretched her arms. Her muscles were sore from yesterday's combat practice. The other cadets hit harder than humans did back on Earth, but Biora never complained. She could not give them any reason to say humans were weak. The dormitory was already busy. Alien cadets from dozens of different worlds got ready for the day. Some had blue skin. Others had 4 arms. A few had scales instead of hair, but they all had one thing in common. They thought humans did not belong at the Academy. Biora put on her gray training uniform. The fabric felt rough against her skin. She tied her black hair back and walked to the bathroom. In the mirror, she saw a young woman who looked tired, dark circles under her brown eyes, a small cut on her cheek from yesterday's fight. "Human," said a voice behind her. Biora turned around. 3 Corvani cadets stood there, Atio, reptile-like, beings with green scales and yellow eyes. Their leader was Kixon. He had failed to tests this week and was angry about it. "Yes," Biora said. She kept her voice calm. "You made me look bad in weapons class," Kixon said. His long tongue flicked out between his sharp teeth. "The instructor praised your aim," said other cadets, "should learn from you." "I just did what we were taught," Biora replied. "Humans should not be better than us," said another Corvani. "Your people only joined the galaxy 5 years ago. We have been warriors for thousands of years." Biora said nothing. She had heard this many times before. The Corvane Empire was proud and strong. They did not like that a young species like humans could compete with them. "Today is live fire training," Kixon said with a smile that showed his fangs. "Let us see how good you really are." The 3 aliens left. Biora washed her face with cold water. Her hands shook a little, but she made them stop. Fear was weakness. Weakness meant failure. And failure meant going back to Earth in shame. The training ground was huge. It had fake buildings, walls to hide behind, and obstacles to climb over. 50 cadets stood in lines, waiting for orders. Biora stood with the other humans. There were only 12 of them in the whole academy. "Listen up," shouted Instructor Veltar. He was a tall being with 4 arms and purple skin. "Today you practice real combat. The weapons are set to training mode. They will hurt, but not kill. Work in teams. Capture the other team's flag." Simple. The cadets split into 2 groups. Biora ended up on the red team. Kixon was on the blue team. He stared at her from across the field. His yellow eyes were full of hate. "Red team, take positions," Veltar ordered. Biora ran to a concrete wall and crouched behind it. Her plasma rifle felt heavy in her hands. She checked the power setting. It showed training non-lethal in green letters. The training began. Plasma bolts flew through the air like angry fireflies. Blue and red lights flashed everywhere. Cadets shouted orders in different alien languages. The smell of burned metal filled the air. Biora moved carefully from cover to cover. She shot 3 blue team members. Her aim was perfect. Each shot hit center mass and knocked them down. They would be sore for days, but not seriously hurt. Human. Someone yelled, "Biora!" spun around. Kixon stood 20 meters away. His rifle was pointed at her chest, but something was wrong. The weapons display showed red letters instead of green. "Wait!" Biora shouted. "Your weapon setting." Kixon pulled the trigger. The plasma bolt hit Biora in the center of her chest. The impact threw her backward. She hit the ground hard. Exploded through her body like fire. She could not breathe. Her vision went dark around the edges. Through the haze, she heard Kixon laughing. "Weak humans," he said. "I told everyone you were nothing special. Biora lay on the ground. The pain was terrible. Her chest felt like it was burning from the inside. She could smell her own flesh cooking. The plasma had gone right through her training vest. If this was a training bolt, she would be unconscious but alive. But this felt different. This felt like death. She heard footsteps coming closer. Kixon was walking toward her. Other cadets gathered around. They whispered to each other. Some sounded worried. Others sounded excited. "See," Kixon said loudly. "Humans break easily. They do not belong in our military." Biora closed her eyes. The pain was getting worse. But under the pain, she felt something else. Her body was working. Her heart was still beating. Her lungs were still trying to breathe. The plasma had burned through skin and muscle, but it had missed her vital organs. On Earth, she had survived much worse. Car accidents, falls from high places, attacks by wild animals. Her body knew how to heal. Her mind knew how to endure. Slowly, Biora opened her eyes. The circle of alien faces above her looked shocked. She put her hands on the ground and pushed herself up. Her chest screamed with pain, but she ignored it. "Impossible," whispered someone. Bara got to her knees, then to her feet. The hole in her chest was deep and ugly. Blood ran down her uniform, but she was standing. She was alive. Kixon stared at her. His yellow eyes were huge. You should be dead," he stammered. "You set your weapon to kill mode," Biora said. Her voice was rough but clear. "That was against training rules. I did not." The weapon was ... double quotes. Kixon's words came out wrong. He was shaking. Biora took a step toward him, then another. With each step, the pain in her chest grew less. Her body was already starting to heal. Skin grew over burned flesh. Muscles knitted back together. Kixon made a choking sound. His reptilian face turned pale green. His rifle fell from his hands. He grabbed his chest with both claws. "Cannot breathe ... double quotes," he gasped. The tall Corvani fell backward. His body hit the ground with a loud thump. His yellow eyes stared at the sky, but they did not see anything anymore. The training ground went completely silent. 50 cadets stood frozen. Some had their mouths open. Others were backing away slowly. Instructor Veltar ran over. He knelt beside Kixon and checked for a pulse with 2 of his 4 hands. After a moment, he looked up. "He is dead," Veltar announced. "Heart failure." All eyes turned to Biora. She stood in the middle of the training ground with a smoking hole in her chest, blood on her uniform, and dirt on her face. But she was alive. She was standing. And the alien who had tried to kill her was dead at her feet. "Training is over," Veltar said in a quiet voice. Everyone returned to quarters. "Now," as the cadets walked away, they whispered to each other. Biora heard fragments of different languages, but the meaning was always the same. The human should be dead, but she was still standing. 3 hours after the training accident, Captain Tejo Park arrived at the academy. He was a tall man with gray hair and tired eyes. As the senior human officer in this sector, he had to deal with problems involving human cadets. But this was not a normal problem. Biora sat in the medical bay. Her chest was covered with white bandages, but she felt fine. The hole from the plasma bolt was already healing. By tomorrow, there would only be a small scar. "Tell me what happened, Captain," Park said. He pulled up a chair and sat down. Bora explained everything. The morning confrontation, the training exercise, Kixon's weapon showing red letters instead of green, the plasma bolt hitting her chest, getting back up. Watching Kixon die, Captain Park listened without speaking. When she finished, he was quiet for a long time. The other cadets saw you get shot. He asked. Yes, sir. About 20 of them. And they saw you stand up afterward. Yes, sir. Captain Park rubbed his forehead. This is going to cause problems. The medical bay door opened. A strange alien walked in. He looked like a giant insect with 6 legs and 4 arms. His skin was dark green and shiny. 2 large eyes sat on stalks that moved independently. I am Dr. Zelmoth, the alien said in a buzzing voice. I am the Academy's chief medical officer. I need to examine the human. Go ahead, Captain Park said. Dr. Zelmoth approached Biora with several scanning devices. He held them over her chest where the bandages covered her wound. Interesting, he buzzed. Very interesting indeed. What do you see? Captain Park asked. The plasma bolt created a cavity 8 centimeters deep and 4 centimeters wide. It burned through skin, muscle, and fatty tissue. The heat should have cooked the surrounding organs, but it didn't. No. The human cellular structure absorbed the thermal energy and distributed it throughout her body. Her tissue is regenerating at 12 times the normal rate for known species. Dr. Zelmoth moved his scanners to Biora's arms and head. Her bone density is 30% higher than standard. Her muscle fibers are more compact. Her nervous system shows unusual redundancy. What does that mean? Biora asked. It means you are built differently than other species in the galaxy, Dr. Zelmoth said. Much differently. The door opened again. This time, a group of important-looking aliens entered. Leading them was a massive reptilian creature with silver scales and red eyes. He wore the uniform of a Corvani general. I am General Thokron, the creature announced. His voice was deep and angry. I am here about the death of Cadet Kixon. Captain Park stood up. General, I'm sorry for your loss. Sorry is not enough, Thokron growled. One of my best young warriors is dead. This human killed him. Human defended herself, Captain Park said calmly. Your cadet shot her with a weapon set to lethal force. Lies. Thokron's red eyes flared. Kixon was an honorable warrior. He would never break training rules. Dr. Zelmoth spoke up. General, I examined the weapon. It was definitely set to kill mode. The plasma signature confirms this. Thokron turned his massive head toward the doctor. Then explain how this weak human survived a lethal shot. That is what I'm trying to understand, Dr. Zelmoth said. Her biology is unusual. Unusual how? Thokron demanded. Dr. Zelmoth activated a holographic display. It showed a 3-dimensional image of Biora's body. Different organs glowed in different colors. Observe, the doctor said. This human has 2 hearts. One primary, one backup. If the primary heart fails, the backup takes over immediately. Thokron stared at the display. 2 hearts. Yes. Also, her liver has 3 separate sections. Her lungs have extra chambers. Her brain has additional neural pathways. 'Tis as if her entire species evolved with built-in redundancy. That's impossible, said another alien. He was tall and thin with blue skin. No species has such adaptations. This one does, Dr. Zelmoth confirmed. I have never seen anything like it. Biora watched the aliens discuss her body like she was not there. It made her uncomfortable, but she stayed quiet. There is more, Dr. Zelmoth continued. Her blood contains unusual proteins. Her cellular repair mechanisms are incredibly advanced. She heals from injuries that would kill most species. General Thokron moved closer to Biora. His red eyes studied her face. What kind of world did you come from, human? Earth, Biora said simply. Tell me about Earth. Biora thought about how to explain it. It's a dangerous place. Earthquakes, volcanoes, hurricanes, wild animals that hunt humans. Diseases, wars, accidents. Many things try to kill us. And humans survive all this? We adapt. We get stronger. We learn to heal from injuries. We don't give up easily. Thokron was quiet for a moment. Then he spoke to Captain Park. Your species hid this from us. When humans joined the Galactic Alliance, you said nothing about these abilities. We didn't hide anything, Captain Park replied. We answered all questions honestly. You did not tell us humans were nearly indestructible. We're not indestructible, Biora said. We just don't die easily. Dr. Zelmoth made notes on his tablet. I need to run more tests. This could change everything we know about human physiology. No more tests, Captain Park said firmly. Cadet Kim needs rest, but the scientific implications are not more important than her health. General Thokron stepped forward. There will be an investigation. The Galactic Council will want answers. If humans are this different from other species, they may not belong in our military. That's not your decision to make, Captain Park said. Perhaps not. But if humans are hiding other abilities, the Alliance will need to know. The general turned to leave, then stopped. One more thing. The other cadets are afraid. They saw this human survive what should have been death. They are asking questions. What kind of questions? Captain Park asked. They want to know what else humans can do. They want to know if all humans are like this. They want to know if they are safe. After the general left, Captain Park sat down heavily. This is bad, Biora, very bad. Why, sir? Because now everyone knows humans are different. Some aliens will be curious, others will be afraid. And fear makes people do stupid things. Dr. Zelmoth was still studying his scanners. Captain, I need to ask something. Are all humans like this? Do they all have these adaptations? Captain. Park looked at Biora, then back at the doctor. Yes, all humans have these traits. Some more than others, but we all have them. Fascinating. Your species is remarkable. Maybe too remarkable, Captain Park said quietly. Biora felt a chill run down her spine. She had survived the plasma bolt, but something told her the real danger was just beginning. Outside the medical bay, she could hear other cadets talking. Their voices were nervous, scared. They were talking about the human, who couldn't die, and they were wondering what other secrets the humans were hiding. Dr. Zelmoth packed up his equipment. I will need to report my findings to the Academy Board. They will want to know everything. I understand, Captain Park said. As the doctor left, Biora asked, what happens now? Captain Park looked out the window at the Academy grounds. Groups of alien cadets stood together, talking and pointing at the medical bay. Now we wait, he said, and we hope the galaxy is ready to learn the truth about humans. But from the look in his eyes, Biora could tell he didn't think they were ready at all. The next morning, Biora woke up in the medical bay. Her chest felt normal. She touched the spot where the plasma bolt had hit her. Under the bandage, there was only smooth skin with a small pink mark. Dr. Zelmoth entered with a tablet in 2 of his 4 hands. His eye stalks moved to look at her chest, then at his screen. Amazing, he buzzed. The wound is completely healed. No scarring, no tissue damage. It is like it never happened. I heal fast, Biora said. This is not fast healing. This is impossible healing. Dr. Zelmoth made notes on his tablet. I have studied biology for 40 years. I have never seen anything like this. The door opened. Captain Park walked in with Lieutenant Dayun Lee, a young Korean woman with short black hair. She carried a data pad and looked worried. How are you feeling? Captain Park asked Biora. Fine, sir. Ready to return to training. That's not going to happen, Lieutenant Lee said. The Academy has suspended all human cadets pending investigation. What kind of investigation? Biora asked. Captain Park sat down. The Galactic Council wants to understand what humans really are. They think we've been lying about our abilities. We haven't lied about anything, Biora said. No, but we haven't told them everything either. Dr. Zelmoth looked up from his tablet. Captain, I need to understand something. Where did humans evolve? What was your world like? Captain Park was quiet for a moment. Then he began to speak. Earth is not like other worlds, he said. Most alien species come from stable planets. Gentle weather, predictable seasons, safe environments. And Earth? Dr. Zelmoth asked. Earth tried to kill us every day for millions of years. Lieutenant Lee activated her datapad. A holographic image of Earth appeared in the air. It showed a blue and green planet with white clouds. It looks peaceful, Dr. Zelmoth observed. It's not, Captain Park said. Show him the disasters. The image changed. Now it showed massive storms, earthquakes that split the ground, volcanoes shooting fire into the sky, and huge waves destroying cities. Every year, earthquakes kill thousands of people, Captain Park explained. Hurricanes destroy entire regions. Volcanoes bury cities in hot ash. Tornadoes tear buildings apart. Floods wash away everything. The image changed again. Now it showed wild animals. Lions with sharp teeth. Bears that could crush a human with one paw. Sharks in the ocean. Poisonous snakes and spiders. The animals hunt humans for food. Captain Park continued. We had to learn to fight them or run from them. Every day was about survival. Dr. Zelmoth's eye stalks moved back and forth as he watched. This is horrible. How did your species survive? We adapted, Lieutenant Lee said. Over millions of years, only the humans who could survive lived long enough to have children. The weak ones died. The strong ones passed their genes to the next generation. Show him the wars, Captain Park said. The hologram changed to show human armies fighting each other. Swords and spears, guns and cannons, bombs falling from the sky. Humans fought each other for thousands of years, Captain Park said. We had wars that killed millions of people. We built weapons that could destroy entire cities. Why? Dr. Zelmoth asked. For food? For land? For resources? For survival. When your world is dangerous, you learn to be dangerous too. Biora watched the images of her home world. She had grown up hearing stories about the old days, about hurricanes that destroyed her grandmother's house, about the car accident that should have killed her father but didn't, about the time her mother fell off a building and walked away with only bruises. This explains the redundant organs, Dr. Zelmoth said. Your species needed backup systems in case the primary ones were damaged. Yes, Captain Park said. Humans who had two hearts survived heart attacks. Humans with stronger bones survived falls. Humans who could heal fast survived injuries, and the ones who couldn't, they died. They didn't have children. Over time, only the survivors were left. Lieutenant Lee brought up more data. The average? Human can survive injuries that would kill most other species. We can go without food for weeks. We can survive in extreme temperatures. We can heal from wounds that would be fatal to others. Dr. Zelmoth was quiet for a long time. His eye stalks moved as he thought. This changes everything, he finally said. When humans joined the Alliance, we thought you were a normal species. Young and weak, but normal. We are normal, Biora said. For humans, but not for anyone else in the galaxy. The door chimed. General Thokron entered with 3 other aliens. One was tall and thin, with blue skin, a Centauri diplomat. Another was short and round with gray fur, a Valdec scientist. The third looked like a walking plant with green leaves instead of hair. A Florian Council member who had been discussing the human situation. General Thokron announced. The Council has concerns. What kind of concerns? Captain Park asked. The Centauri diplomat spoke in a high musical voice. We are concerned that humans may be too dangerous for the Alliance. If you can survive injuries that kill other species, what does that mean for galactic peace? It means we're hard to kill, Captain Park said. That should be good for the Alliance. Or very bad, the Valdec scientist said in a squeaky voice. What if humans decide to conquer other species? What if you become our enemies instead of our allies? The Florian rustled his leaves as he spoke. Other species are asking questions. They want to know what else humans can do. They want to know if you have other hidden abilities. We don't have hidden abilities, Lieutenant Lee said. We just survive well. Surviving a direct plasma bolt is not surviving well. General Thokron growled. It is impossible, yet this human did it. Dr. Zelmuth spoke up. I have been studying human biology. They are not supernatural. They are simply evolved for survival. Evolution does not explain this level of adaptation, the Valdec scientist argued. No species evolves such extreme traits naturally. Earth is an extreme world, Captain Park said. It created extreme survivors. General Thokron moved closer to Biora. Stand up, human. Biora stood. The general towered over her. His red eyes studied her from head to toe. You look fragile, he said. Small, weak, yet you survived what should have killed you. I'm tougher than I look, Biora replied. How tough could you survive a fall from a tall building? Probably. Could you survive in space without a suit? For a while. Could you survive being shot multiple times? Depends on where I was shot. The aliens looked at each other with worried expressions. This is what we feared, the Centauri said. Humans are not just tough, they are nearly indestructible. We're not indestructible, Biora said. We can be killed. It's just harder to do. Much harder, Dr. Zelmuth added. Based on my tests, a human could survive injuries that would kill 3 or 4 members of other species. General Thokron turned to Captain Park. The Council will meet tomorrow. They will decide if humans can remain in the Alliance. And if they decide we can't, Captain Park asked, then all humans will be expelled from Alliance space. Your species will be considered too dangerous to interact with civilized worlds. After the aliens left, Biora sat back down on the medical bed. This is my fault. If I had just stayed down after being shot, no, Captain Park said firmly. This was going to happen eventually. Humans and aliens are too different. It was only a matter of time before someone noticed. Lieutenant Lee looked at her data pad. I'm getting reports from other human colonies. Alien governments are asking questions about human abilities. Some are demanding that humans be relocated away from alien populations. They're afraid of us, Biora said. Yes, Captain Park agreed. And fear makes people do dangerous things. Dr. Zelmuth was still studying his notes. For what it's worth, I think humans are remarkable. Your adaptations are incredible. But, Captain Park asked, but I understand why others are afraid. If I were not a scientist, I might be afraid too. Biora looked out the window. In the distance, she could see other cadets training. They moved in groups, staying away from the areas where humans usually went. What happens if the Council votes against us? She asked. Captain Park followed her gaze. Then we go back to Earth, and we stay there forever. Forever. Biora touched the spot on her chest where the plasma bolt had hit her. Such a small wound had caused such big problems. I never wanted to be special, she said quietly. I just wanted to be a soldier. I know, Captain Park said. Oh, wait. But sometimes the galaxy doesn't give us what we want. The alien cadets continued their training. But now they kept looking toward the medical bay where the impossible human waited to learn her fate. The Galactic Council meeting lasted 3 days. Biora waited in the medical bay, while alien leaders argued about what to do with humans. Captain Park brought her updates every few hours. The Corvain want all humans expelled, he told her on the second day. The Centauri are undecided. The Florians think we might be useful as soldiers. What about the others? Biora asked. Mixed. Some are curious, others are scared. A few think we're lying about our abilities. On the third day, Captain Park came. Back with different news. His face looked grim. They've made a decision, he said. Are we being expelled? Not yet. They want proof first. Lieutenant Lee entered behind him. She looked upset. They want you to take tests, Biora, to prove that humans really have these abilities. Oh my God, what kind of tests? Captain Park sat down heavily. Dangerous ones. They want to see if you can survive things that would kill other species. And if I can't survive, then they'll know we were. Exaggerating, they'll let humans stay in the Alliance. And if I can survive, then they'll know we're too dangerous. They'll kick us out. Biora stared at him. So either way, I have to risk my life. Yes. And if I refuse, then they'll assume we're hiding something worse. All humans will be expelled immediately. Lieutenant Lee handed Biora a datapad. These are the tests they want you to take. Biora read the list. Her face went pale. Test 1. Vacuum exposure subject. Will be placed in an airlock without a suit for 15 minutes. Test 2. Temperature. Stream subject will be exposed to temperatures of -40 degrees and +60 degrees Celsius. Test 3. Combat. Endurance subject will fight multiple armed opponents while carrying injuries. Test 4. Pain tolerance. Subject will undergo controlled torture to test psychological limits. Test 5. Recovery. Speed subject will be injured and monitored during healing process. They want to torture me, Biora said quietly. I know, Captain Park said. I tried to talk them out of it. Well, they won't listen. Each test is designed to be fatal, Lieutenant Lee added. If you were any other species, you would die. Biora. Set down the datapad. When do the tests start? Tomorrow morning? That night, Biora couldn't sleep. She walked to the window and looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there were the homeworlds of dozens of alien species. All of them were afraid of her. She thought about her family on Earth. Her parents didn't know what was happening. They thought she was just studying at a military academy. They would be proud to know she was representing all of humanity. But they would also be terrified. The next morning, Dr. Zelmuth came to prepare her for the tests. He attached monitoring devices to her arms and chest. I will be watching your vital signs, he said. If you are in real danger, I will stop the tests. Will you? Biora asked. Dr. Zelmuth's eye stalks drooped. I will try. The testing facility was in the lower levels of the academy. It looked like a prison. Gray walls, metal floors, no windows. Dozens of aliens sat in an observation room behind thick glass. General Thokron stood next to a control panel. Are you ready, human? Biora nodded. Test 1 begins now. A door opened. Biora walked into a small chamber. The door sealed behind her. She heard pumps working as the air was sucked out. Her ears popped, her lungs burned. The cold of space began to freeze her skin. Through the observation window, she could see aliens watching her with fascination and horror. 1 minute passed. Biora's vision began to blur. Her body screamed for air. 2 minutes. Her heart slowed down to save oxygen. Her second heart kicked in to keep blood flowing. 5 minutes. Most aliens would be dead now. Biora was unconscious but still alive. 10 minutes. Her body temperature dropped dangerously low. Ice crystals formed on her skin. 15 minutes. The pumps restarted. Air flowed back into the chamber. Biora woke up, gasping. Her skin was blue from cold and lack of oxygen, but she was alive. Impossible? Whispered someone in the observation room. Test 2. General Thokron announced Biora was moved to another chamber. This one had heating and cooling systems. The temperature dropped rapidly. 10 degrees. Biora shivered, but remained. Standing, 20 degrees. Her breath came out as white clouds. 30 degrees. Her skin turned red from cold. 40 degrees. Any normal person would have frostbite by now. Biora's body shunted blood to her vital organs and increased her metabolism. After 10 minutes, at -40, the temperature began to rise. Plus 20 degrees, plus 30, plus 40, plus 50, plus 60 degrees Celsius. The heat was like being inside an oven. Biora's skin turned red and began to sweat heavily. But her body adapted. Her blood vessels expanded to cool her. Her sweat glands worked overtime. After another 10 minutes, she was returned to normal temperature. She was tired, but alive. Test 3, General Thokron said. This test was in a larger room that looked like an arena. 3 alien guards entered. They carried shock sticks, weapons that delivered painful electric shocks but were not supposed to be lethal. You must defeat all 3 opponents, General Thokron announced. But first, a robot entered the arena. It shot Biora in the left shoulder with a plasma bolt set to low power. The wound was not fatal, but it was painful and would slow her. Down the 3 guards attacked. The first guard was a Corvani like General Thokron. He was fast and strong. His shock stick crackled with electricity. Biora dodged his first attack. Her shoulder burned with pain, but she ignored it. She had been hurt worse before. The second guard was a Centauri, tall and thin, but quick. He tried to circle behind her while the Corvani attacked from the front. The third guard was a Valdek, short but tough, with thick fur that protected him from damage. Biora fought all 3 at once. She used her speed and intelligence instead of strength. When the Corvani charged at her, she stepped aside and let him crash into the Centauri. When the Valdek tried to shock her, she grabbed his weapon and turned it on him. Her shoulder bled and hurt terribly. But human bodies were made to fight while injured. Her adrenaline blocked most of the pain. One by one, she defeated the guards. Not by killing them, but by outthinking them, by being more determined, by refusing to give up even when hurt. When the last guard fell, the arena was silent. Test 4, General Thokron said. His voice was quieter now. This test was the worst. Biora was strapped to a chair. Electrodes were attached to her body. The aliens began to send electric shocks through her. The pain was terrible. It felt like fire running through her veins. Any normal person would have begged for mercy after the first shock. Biora gritted her teeth and said nothing. The shocks got stronger, more frequent. Her body jerked and twisted against the restraints. Still, she said nothing. For 30 minutes, they tortured her. Her nervous system was designed to handle extreme pain. Her mind was trained to endure suffering. When it finally stopped, Biora was unconscious, but she had not broken. She had not begged. She had not given them the satisfaction of seeing her defeated. Test 5, General Thokron said. But his voice was different now. Uncertain for the final test, they cut it deep. Wound in Biora's arm. Then they watched as it healed in the first hour. The bleeding stopped. In the second hour, new skin began to form. In the third hour, the muscle underneath started to reconnect. By the 6th hour, there was only a thin red line where the cut had been dot. By the 12th hour, even that was gone. The observation room was completely silent. Aliens stared at the monitors, showing Biora's recovery. Some looked amazed. Others looked terrified. General Thokron turned off the monitors. The tests are complete. Biora was brought back to the medical bay. She was exhausted, hurt, and angry. But she was alive. Captain Park was waiting for her. "How do you feel?" "Like I've been tortured," Biora said. "You have been." Dr. Zelmuth entered with his medical scanners. "Remarkable. Your body has already begun recovering from all 5 tests. By tomorrow, you will show no signs of injury." "What happens now?" Biora asked. Captain Park looked toward the observation room where alien leaders were still arguing. "Now they decide if we're too dangerous to live with, and if we are, then humanity goes back to Earth, and we never leave again." Biora closed her eyes. She had passed all 5 tests. She had proven that humans could survive anything. But she wasn't sure if that was a good thing or a very bad thing. Through the walls, she could hear aliens talking in worried voices. They had seen what humans could endure, and now they had to decide what to do about it. Biora woke up the next morning feeling different. Her body had healed from all the tests, but something was wrong. Her reflection in the mirror showed new lines around her eyes, gray streaks in her black hair. She looked older, Dr. Zelmuth noticed. It too when he came for his morning check. "The tests have aged you," he said, studying his scanners. "Your cellular regeneration is using up your life force faster than normal." "What does that mean?" Biora asked. "Each time you heal from a major injury, you lose months or years of your natural lifespan. Your body trades future time for present survival." Biora touched her face. "How much time did I lose? Perhaps 5 years? Maybe more." Captain Park entered the medical bay with Lieutenant Lee. Both looked tired and worried. "The council is meeting again today," Captain Park said. "They're making their final decision about humans." "What are they saying?" Biora asked. Lieutenant Lee checked her datapad. "It's not good. Half of them think humans are too dangerous. The other half think humans are too valuable as soldiers. Nobody thinks we're just normal people who happen to be tough." "No," Captain Park said sadly. "To them, we're either weapons or threats, nothing in between." The door chimed. General Thokron entered alone. His red eyes looked tired, and his silver scales seemed less bright than before. "Human," he said to Biora, "I want to speak with you." "About what?" "About honor." General Thokron sat down heavily. For such a large creature, he suddenly looked old and fragile. "Yesterday, I watched you endure torture without breaking," he said. "I watched you fight while wounded. I watched you survive things that would kill my best warriors. And I realized something. You are not just tough. You are brave." Biora was surprised. "Thank you, General. Do not thank me yet. I have a proposal." Captain Park stepped forward. "What kind of proposal?" General Thokron stood up. "A trial by combat. Ancient Corvani law. If this human can defeat me in single combat, I will vote for humans to remain in the Alliance. I will convince other Corvani leaders to do the same. And if she loses," Lieutenant Lee asked, "then I will have proven that humans are not as dangerous. As we fear, the Council will be more likely to let your species stay." Biora looked at the massive alien. General Thokron was twice her size and had been a warrior for decades. His claws could tear through metal. His strength could crush bones. "Why are you doing this?" she asked. "Because I killed Kixin," Thokron said quietly. Everyone stared at Kui. Everyone stared at him. "What do you mean?" Captain Park demanded. "I ordered him to set his weapon to kill mode. I told him to shoot you during training. I wanted to see if humans were really as tough as the rumors said." Biora felt cold inside. "You tried to murder me." "Yes. And when you survived, Kixin realized what he had done. The shock killed him. His death is my fault, not yours." General Thokron looked down at his clawed hands. "I have dishonored myself. I have dishonored my people. The only way to regain honor is through combat. "This is insane," Lieutenant Lee said. Biora just went through 5 torture tests. She's not ready for another fight. "I am ready," Biora said quietly. Everyone looked at her. "You're sure?" Captain Park asked. "I'm sure, but I have conditions." General Thokron tilted his massive head. "What conditions?" "No weapons. Hand to hand. Combat only. And when I win, you don't just vote for humans to stay. You apologize to my species for what you did. And when I win..." Biora smiled grimly. "You won't." Gah. The combat arena was packed with aliens from every species in the Academy. Head spread quickly about the trial by combat. Everyone wanted to see if the small human could defeat the massive Corvani General. Biora walked into the arena wearing simple training clothes. Her body still ached from yesterday's tests, but she ignored the pain. General Thokron entered from the other side. He wore traditional Corvani battle armor, scales reinforced with metal plates. "Are you ready, human?" Aki called across the arena. "Ready," Bora replied. The referee, a tall Centauri judge, raised his hand. "Begin." General Thokron charged forward, like a living tank. His massive feet shook the ground. His claws were extended. He planned to end the fight quickly. Biora did not run. She did not dodge. Instead, she did something that surprised everyone. She charged straight at him. The 2 fighters collided in the center of the arena. General Thokron's claws raked across Biora's chest, tearing her shirt and drawing blood. But Biora's fist connected with his throat at exactly the right spot. Both fighters staggered backward. General Thokron looked down at the blood on his claws, then up at Biora. She was bleeding, but still standing, still fighting. "Impossible," he growled. "Those wounds should have dropped you." "I've had worse," Biora said. Blood ran down her chest, but her wounds were already beginning to heal. General Thokron attacked. Again. This time, he was more careful. He used his reach advantage, slashing at her from a distance. Biora dodged and weaved. She was faster than the huge alien, but his claws were longer than her arms. Every time she tried to get close, he drove her back. For 10 minutes, they fought like this. General Thokron landing small cuts. Biora, unable to get close enough for a real attack. But General Thokron was getting tired. His breathing was heavy. His movements were slower. Biora, meanwhile, was healing from each cut as fast as he could make them. Her body was designed for exactly this kind of endurance battle. She began to change her strategy. Instead of avoiding his claws, she started taking hits deliberately. Each time his claws raked across her arms or legs, she stepped closer. The crowd gasped as Biora walked straight into General Thokron's attacks. To them, it looked like suicide. But Biora knew something they didn't. General Thokron was holding back. "Stop playing with me," she shouted at him. "Fight like you mean it. I am fighting." He roared back. "No, you're not. You're afraid to really hurt me because you know I'm just a small human girl." General Thokron's red eyes flared with anger. "I fear nothing." "Then prove it. Stop holding back." With a bellow of rage, General Thokron abandoned all caution. His claws flashed out in a series of devastating attacks. Each one would have killed any other species, but Biora was ready. As his final strike came toward her heart, she stepped inside his reach and grabbed his wrist. Her other hand shot up to his throat. General Thokron tried to pull away, but Biora held on. Her grip was strong from years of surviving on a deadly world. Her positioning was perfect from instincts honed by millions of years of evolution. She applied pressure to exactly the right spot on his throat. Not enough to kill him, but enough to cut off blood flow to his brain. General Thokron's eyes went wide. He struggled for a moment, then collapsed. The arena was completely silent. Bora stood over the unconscious Corvani general. Blood ran from dozens of cuts on her body. Her clothes were torn. Her face was pale from blood loss. But she was standing, and he was not. The crowd erupted in shocked voices. Some aliens cheered. Others seemed terrified. A few were already leaving. Not wanting to see any more, Dr. Zelmuth ran into the arena with his medical kit. He checked General Thokron first, unconscious but alive. Then he turned to Bura. "You need medical attention immediately," he said. "I need to finish this first." Bura replied. She walked to the center of the arena and spoke in a loud voice that carried to every corner. "I am Bura Kim of Earth," she announced. "I represent all humans in this galaxy. We are not monsters. We are not weapons. We are people who learn to survive on a hard world." She gestured to General Thokron, who was beginning to wake up. "This warrior tried to kill me because he was afraid of what humans might do. But fear makes people do terrible things. We don't want to be feared. We want to be trusted." General Thokron sat up slowly, helped by Dr. Zelmuth. His red eyes focused on Bura. "You won," he said simply. "Yes. You could have killed me. Yes, but I didn't. That's the difference between humans and what you think we are." General Thokron struggled to his feet. He swayed for a moment, then stood straight. In front of the entire crowd, he bowed his massive head to the small human. "I apologize," he said loudly. "To you, to your species, to the Alliance. I was wrong about humans." Bura nodded. Apology accepted. 3 days later, the Galactic Council voted. It was close. 847 votes to allow humans to remain in the Alliance. 623 votes to expel them. Bura sat in the medical bay, recovering from her fight with General Thokron. Her wounds had healed, but she looked even older now. The stress of constant fighting and healing was aging her rapidly. Captain Park brought her the news of the vote. "We can stay," he said. "But there will be restrictions, monitoring limits on how many humans can serve in the military." "At least it's something," Bura said. "Yes, it's something." Lieutenant Lee entered with a datapad. "You're being promoted, Bura. The Academy is making you a full cadet again. You can finish your training." Bura looked at her reflection in the window. She was 19 years old, but she looked 25. The tests and fights had cost her years of her life. "Do you want to continue?" Captain Park asked. Bura thought about Earth, about her family, about the price of proving humanity belonged among the stars. Then she thought about the future, about other young humans who would come to the Academy, about making sure they wouldn't have to fight the same battles she had fought. "Yes," she said, "I want to continue, even though it will probably age you more, even though you'll face more challenges." Bura smiled. It was a tired smile, but it was real. "That's what humans do," she said. "We survive, we adapt, we keep going." Outside, the window alien cadets were training. Some of them were humans now. Young people from Earth who had heard Biora's story and wanted to follow in her footsteps. They would face their own challenges. They would pay their own prices. But they would not give up, because that was what it meant to be human.